So what should you do if you have a rear wheel slide? Correct answer? Nothing, your traction control will save it. But if you haven't got traction control, or if you've elected to turn it off, shall we say, what do you do in that moment when you're coming through a corner, you're putting on the gas, and the rear tyre breaks away? I'm going to talk you through the stages of what goes on in that situation. So we're driving out of a corner, we just overstepped the limit of grip, and the rear tyre slides. At that moment, the bike starts to come round, almost guarantee you'll shut the gas. That's a 99% of the time human reaction. You flinch and you shut the gas. But as that tyre slides, you shut the gas, it then gets grip again, loads the rear shock, and springs you back into line. Or if you're gone too far, springs you over the top. That's where the famous high side that we all know and love, or dread, comes from. So the ideal thing when you break traction is to either freeze the gas or close it very slightly, but not shut the throttle shut. If you freeze the gas where it is, most of the time the bike will come back in line. What it won't do is fire you over the top. That's what we're trying to avoid. In reality, if you're in that situation, if you're in that moment, you cannot do a fix this crash by numbers. If the bike's gone sideways, you can't then go, oh, I read that I need to shut the gas and move my feet on the foot pegs and change my weight. It all happens too quickly. So the way to learn that stuff is to get yourself on some form of off-road training or flat track training where you can learn to slide a bike in control. And this isn't about being able to slide a bike on the road, but it's about preparing yourself so that if you do have a moment, your body's dealt with it and it's almost muscle memory. You just catch the slide and you carry on. The difference is then, if you learn your first slide at 15 miles an hour on a little Yamaha TTR 125, you've got a lot more time to deal with it and the consequence is much lower. If your first ever slide is 90 mile an hour on a super bike or a sports bike, it's a much more frightening experience. So get yourself some training, have a go at sliding, moving the bike around and learning what the bike is like when the wheels are out of line. And that first winter's morning ride on your sports bike on the road, and you catch that damp patch under the trees, becomes a barely noticeable event rather than a heartbeat-inducing ride stopper.